silver specifically has found a new floor. You're never going to get a $20 silver coin again. Good luck out there. Go ahead, search your 1 ounce coins anywhere in the world you are listening to this. See if you can buy a 1 ounce coin in any denomination right now. Good luck. The premium is way above what you see on the cost of the production, the cost of the refinement, the cost of the goods that it's producing, like the AI chips or the AI play, the EV, the solar. These things aren't going downward in cost.
Hello everybody. Gold and silver, absolute carnage over Friday and the weekend. Gold dropped over $1,000 at one point, and silver had its biggest daily loss of 25%. Fell from $120 to almost below $70 at one point, if I'm correct. And what caused all this? What's going to happen in the future? I want to talk to Kevin Soltani, my good friend and founder of Gima Group, here just to talk about everything that's happening in gold and silver. Yeah, it's been absolute carnage, right, Kevin?
Carnage, or, and some people are going to see it as a V-shaped, upswing. It just depends which part of the cycle you got it on, right? Let's be honest, it goes both ways, and it was a perfect storm. We should start off by saying that what had happened and what is happening is like the perfect storm. And, there's many different factors for that. The perfect storm being that what day did this all get started, right? The last day of the month just so happens to be on a Friday. The Friday when options expire on the first month of the year, which is also people coming back, getting in the swing. Then you had this massive rally in 2025, more so in silver than in any other asset class in the world. And then you had January 30th. Then you had the options expiry. This was not a narrative. This was, this is options expiry as the narrative that meeting the math. This was math. And when you had 2025 insane, bull run, a bull run that's never been seen in history of many other asset classes, arguably other than something like Bitcoin in its early days, then what had happened with silver and gold could be argued as a V-shaped correction, because Monday, it also came up quite significantly. Now, what is significant in the last years versus any other asset class? Any other asset class is dropping 15 to 30%. That's the end of the world. And then going back up 8 to 12%, that's like a whole new world. But it's just another day in the asset classes of gold and silver. And that's just because silver's just been hated for the longest time. It's been untouched. Few are players and many are shopping, window shoppers.
Yeah, let's talked about the perfect storm, right? So people say that the final kind of straw that broke the camel's back, or it could be the trigger, was the nomination by Trump of Wash. And that kind of triggered everything down. But there's been things happening in the background. I think China, for example, we joke about Chinese grandmas buying all the gold, right? But I think the Chinese kind of buying was slowing down for sure. There was all that scandal about, I can't remember what it's called, the gold shop in Shenzhen, I think JW or something. They had a lot of paper interests, and apparently it was backed by physical gold. And when gold reached like 5,500, people tried to withdraw their gold, and there was a huge run, and things happened. But yeah, shall we talk about China first, about how that's influenced gold, and how 2025 was this huge run for gold and silver in general?
So again, it's part of that perfect storm. So let's take it piece by piece. So we got the options expiry. We got the last day of the month, which was a perfect storm in any market. Anytime you get the last day of the month being a Friday, and also quite literally the last day of the month of the cycle going into a new month, it's also a very sensitive month. Starting February 1st, you're starting to get the trickle effects of like a Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year. So not everyone's off, but they're starting to go off. This is like their Christmas season, right? So it's It's, closing up shop, getting ready to go see the family. And so it was like this perfect storm from that angle. Then you have the China angle. I'm sorry. Then you have the Fed angle with Warsh, right? Kevin Warsh. Kevin is the dovish guy. They're more dovish than I think a lot of people expected. So this wasn't a change of fundamentals. This was a massive liquidity vacuum, right? This was just so much liquidity at the top that was sucked out, and it was poured back into AI and equities, AI stocks specifically in equities. And so you have this weird balance of AI stocks, which ironically need a lot of silver, the hardware pieces. Solar, EVs and green technologies require a lot of silver, a lot of copper. And so you have this weird balance of taking money out of this and putting it into that. And it's like, the house was burning and you chose to invest more in the house rather than get a fire extinguisher or call the fire department. It's like, well, that's ass backwards, so that's not going to like make sense in the long run, but that's what happened. Then you have institutional buyers also getting into what they call the Mag 7, right? The AI stocks, the big players in the stock market. So quite literally, you had all of that money being pulled from retail, because where is retail at? Retail is thinking, going to I'm speaking specifically for silver, going to 200, gold, going to 10K, man. Yeah, this is our moment. Easy 2X. It became like a meme coin. The charts became like a meme coin, but just like in meme coins, there's a lot of liquidity at the top. And once that gets sucked, it usually goes back into real assets, like from memes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and then in this case, from silver and gold into AI stocks and tech stocks, the Mag 7 as we call it. So that's part 3 of the perfect storm. Part 4 of the perfect storm is also the Chinese weaponization of silver. They're weaponizing this thing. They do own the most by way of, mining efforts and refineries. If not mining, as specifically refineries. And mining also is not something where you can pour in like $1 trillion tomorrow and become a mine on day 5. Many companies, many industries in the world, if you pour 1 trillion liquid dollars into, you can pretty much have a good share of the market and be an upstart within a couple months. Silver is not that. It would take 10 years to get your outcome from starting a mine, refining it, getting it out, because 70% of that silver comes from other assets, copper and other materials, right? So China's weaponizing it because they're the world's largest refiner. So they're going to choke supply. Why are they going to choke supply? Because they're also in control of the green energy pieces, the solar panels, the chips, the microprocessors, all of the stuff that requires silver. So this is where some conspiracy comes in. This is where some time and price action stuff comes in. Whether they've been waiting for this moment or we gave them this moment, it happened. And it was only beneficial to a few. And remember that the final piece of this perfect storm is that physical silver and retail silver that you trade on the COMEX or the stock exchange are not equal, right? No shit. They're not equal. One is physical, one is not. One is paper. So the 15 trillion that was wiped out was paper money. Physical silver still has value. Is it down 30%? It is if you can go to an exchange and that's now probably gone bankrupt, these small exchanges and otherwise, because your silver will always be 1 ounce for 1 ounce. Just like 1 Bitcoin is 1 Bitcoin. $1, well, I guess I shouldn't say that. $1 is not $1 these days. It's going, worse and worse. So all of these factors together, and because of this massive influx of money coming in pretty much after Christmas until now, in these last 6 weeks, you had $15 trillion wiped out. And it's not ironic. It was just time. It was a matter of time. It might have gone to 200 and crashed to 60. It just went up from 115 and crashed to 70. And so now we found a new floor. Silver specifically has found a new floor. You're never going to get a $20 silver coin again. Good luck out there. Go ahead, search your 1 ounce coins anywhere in the world you are listening to this. See if you can buy a 1 ounce coin in any denomination right now. good luck. The premium is way above what you see on.
Absolutely. I think people forget there's the difference between paper and physical, right? I think, in fact, the price has dropped. There's probably a longer queue for people waiting to buy physical gold and silver at the moment. So
You
that's,
can't print 1 billion ounces of silver, right?
yeah.
But we can print trillions of dollars of silver on digital formats on equity markets and otherwise, and ETFs and double inverse ETFs and tokenization of it. I think Binance also listed it, right? And then it's like the theory, whatever Binance touches, it just because liquidity, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think another thing to note on what you said, right? Silver has a lot of industrial application. Gold is more like this store of value and speculation, I suppose. So there's a lot.
100%
Yeah, there's a lot of
future speculation. Right, like gold is today. Like I know what the value is in many other countries. Right now as it sits, I'm in Vietnam. If I take a gold coin or a bar, I can go to 100 shops in town and get money for it. Whereas silver, maybe some shops I can do that, but I'm hedging against future assets like the cost of solar or EV or microprocessors or chips and things like that that require silver. So is it a store of value with its volatility right now? Absolutely not.
So talking about conspiracy theories, right? So you you think that China is squeezing everybody. I see a lot of things online on X, of course, talking about JP Morgan, right? JP Morgan's one of the biggest holders of physical silver. So
They also had that
that
short
makes sense.
position from a long time ago. They've also had a massive short position that they inherited from a long time ago. I think, yeah, I think that it's not all China. There was a lot of people. Let's say gold and silver ran from 5,500 to 7,500, and let's say silver was 250 in this bull run. This in the one that just corrected. How many dollars, US dollars, do you think go away forever? Right? People will start to now think of their new gold supply or new silver supply as their new dollar supply because the dollar's weakening. You can't, with the de-dollarization of different countries and the BRICS and things like that. So maybe it was actually the America story, the Western story that said, you know what, we need to tank this thing back to save our dollar. Because on paper, we were selling a lot, but there was no physical liquidation of silver and gold. As far as I'm concerned, like the shop down the street it doesn't have a mound of gold right now. If that's like if what had happened with the paper version and physical version, the shop down the street should literally have gold flooding into the street. That because they don't know where to put it. But that's not the case. This was a paper problem. So I also believe that it was 51% the America story, the private equity, the hedge fund, those guys that also the governments. Don't forget, central banks are the largest purchasers of gold. So central banks putting the pressure on the relief valve, and they're saying, dude, if we don't take care of this, there goes there goes the strength of the dollar for a very long time. And so they needed to take back the power for the dollar.
That makes total sense. But still, I think economy's looking pretty shitty everywhere. Um, things People say things have calmed down with Iran and tensions, just in general, but I don't think it has. So, do you think silver and gold still has a way to go upwards?
Yeah, I think, look, every market needs its corrections. It's healthy. I think every market also needs volatility at certain points. And something like silver specifically has been so boring for so long. Like I've been a silver investor since I was 18 years old because when I was 18, the financial crash happened, the financial crisis. And so that market, we went up from whatever, $8 to $50. And then it went back down and it kind of stayed that way from 2011 all the way until now. 11, 2018, 12, up and down, the COVID crisis crashed it to like $12 or $8. And that was the last time we saw it at those levels. And I was told by my mentors and people in the past, obviously get your gold and silver, but as a college kid, fresh out, you can't afford an ounce of gold, so you can get a bunch of silver. And so I've been preaching silver, but on the basis of the same reason why people buy gold. One day, if the world ends, I have some bartering money, and I can have these gold, silver tokens and stuff. It was very like end of worldy for the way I got started. And then I started trading, and then the ETFs came about and all of that. So for 15 years, for about 12 years, I look, not just me, but a lot of us silverheads look like absolute idiots, or that we've missed out on other markets. The amount of money that I put into silver that I should have put into like just Bitcoin, being a Bitcoin guy, is relative. I missed out on a lot of the upside, but did I have my day of shine? Have I had my year of glory right now? Yes, absolutely. Anybody who's invested in silver blindly is up 200% plus just in the last year. To answer your question, does it have more room to go? This is the new floor. So just like the last 12 years, the floor, I don't know, I mean, it went up between like $8 and $12. This is the new floor. You're not going to get a $20 silver ever again. The cost of the production, the cost of the refinement, the cost of the goods that it's producing, like the AI chips or the AI play, the EV, the solar, these things aren't going downward in cost, hardware, at least not significantly down, and they're going to be used more and more. So if you can answer that, then you'll understand that silver specifically is a very required tool and is a big piece to this future puzzle being the AI play, the EV play, the solar play. And so this is the new bottom. Am I going to call 70, 60 the new bottom? I don't know. 40 to 70 is fair. But does it have more room to grow toward 200? Yeah, absolutely. It should. It was a bastardized product for so long. Now it's actually respected as it should be. It's a hard asset.
Sure, it's like a complementary play to AI because it's required for chips and semiconductors in general, right? I guess at least till the next 5 years, 10 years, right? Until supply catches up or something changes in the production process. I think it looks like the floor is like 40, 50, like you said, but we never know. Yeah, it's difficult to say. Okay, a final thing to us is got.
If you're gonna call floors and tops, right?
Yeah.
No one in history has ever been able to, no hedge fund, no trader on the perfect floor and the perfect top. But if you can get within a 10%, 15% range over time, that you call the bottom of a, Bitcoin or a silver, and then it goes up to 200, well, not only do you look very smart, but you're making a lot of money. So I would say don't worry about bottoms and tops. Just find the higher lows, right, that are being made. And those higher lows that are being made are actually quite evident once you start to look at some technicals. But nothing about this market has been fundamental. And most of it has not even been technical because it broke through all technical barriers, especially in the last, 30 to 60 days after Christmas. So silver specifically, gold being a store of value, and like we joke about the grandmas hiding it under their, pillows, and they've been, investing in gold all their lives, because we used to give gold coins to each other as gifts in the Asian world, in the Middle Eastern world, and the Asian world. Every birthday, every New Year, everything, you got either a gold coin or a gold bracelet if you're a woman. Nowadays, it's so expensive, they're selling them in quarter chunks. And if you get one of those, you really should give that grandma a hug and a kiss. So the days of cheap commodities are done. And I think the days of more products on the digital side are ahead. But those are the scariest days, as we saw.
Yeah, absolutely. Final thing to wrap things up. So all this hiccup in gold and silver, right? It's supposedly beneficial for crypto, but it looks like not so much, right? Bitcoin is down. It's at a 70K ish. Ethereum is, I don't know, 2,300 or something like that as well. And Solana, who knows, like 100-ish as well. So it's not looking like any of that money's pouring into crypto or anything like that.
I think as of last Friday, where the 15 trillion got wiped, a lot of assets got bumped. So equities, yes, crypto also got bumped. A lot of that money is moving, but crypto is not the first one out of the 10 assets that people are looking to invest in currently.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think that we hit a short-term bottom right now in Bitcoin specifically? It touched 74.5. Yes, I think that's the short-term bottom, and I'm not convinced that's the bottom until the next run-up. But this is the short-term bottom. So if you're an active trader from 74.5-ish where it touched, I think that we're going to get closer to 100. And then we'll see from there. I don't think that 74 is the official bottom of this. I don't know if we want to call bear market or not. And same with silver. Is the $70 mark the official bottom? I think it's the short-term bottom. But if you're an active trader, today it's at, let's see, as we're speaking, it's $83. There you go. You're already up, almost 12%, more 15%. That's very significant in trading terms. That's extremely significant to have a 15% bounce off the bottom in just one trading session, right? So if you're an active trader, you're very happy because you like volatility. If you're not, then if you're a hodl guy, this is not the time for you probably to be, hodling. You can DCA, but don't check the bag every day. Just DCA and forget about it. That goes with gold, that goes with silver, that goes with Bitcoin. But if you're an active trader, this is a dream. These type of markets is where billionaires and trillionaires are made.
Sounds awesome. I'm a hodler, so I'm crying. I'm going to have to DCA.
That's because you're checking too much.
For sure.
DCA, set it and forget it. Come back in a few years. You'll be happy otherwise. Like I said with silver, it's been 10 to 12 years. Imagine the pain of checking that price. So you just set it and forget it. Sometime after COVID, I didn't even check it a single time. Not even just to see what's up, with silver. And I just kept DCAing. And then over time, this year, 2025, it's not because of me. I did nothing, but it was my best performing trading year of the year, not just because of silver, but, the Trump bump gave a lot of equities just free money, especially after the tariff boom. Am I convinced that we're in for the long run from here? No, I'm looking for a catalyst, a capitulation event in Q1, Q2, maybe Q3. And then off to the races in Q4, Q1 of next year for equities. Crypto has remained to be seen.
Sounds awesome. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us. And for everybody else, if you want to keep up to date with all digital finance news, make sure you follow us and visit our website at www.beincrypto.com.